Hello everyone, my name is Amr Al Hassani and today I'm happy to talk about CBL, Case-Based Learning. During this talk, I will basically define case-based learning and what's the concept of case-based learning. Then I will give a hint about problem-based learning and the differences between both. Finally, I will end with listing some advantages and disadvantages of CBL. Until now, there is no single unified definition for CBL. One modern and a good definition states that CBL is a form of a learning which involves a clinical case, problem, or a question to be solved, all within a set of learning objectives and outcomes. Since long time, educators realized the need for active engagement of learners and to keep their topic relevant. They managed to do that using clinical scenarios within what's called case-based discussion. Traditionally, clinical teaching used to depend on lectures that followed by a bedside teaching as a sort of an on-job training. Starting 1912, the concept of case-based learning has been introduced in the medical field. Another similar concept of teaching is also available. It is called problem-based learning. It is an inquiry-based education. Despite the difference between both, case-based learning is commonly compared and contrasted with BBL. One Turkish article described a comparison between both, demonstrating that problem-based learning invites students to learn fundamental knowledge, mostly in early years of education, while case-based learning is effective for students who have already acquired their foundational knowledge in their clinical years. One good definition of a problem-based learning is that BBL is an innovative, student-centered strategy that encourages learning through inquiry and exploration. Now, let's take this example to demonstrate case-based learning and its concept. We start with a clinical scenario like the one we have in front of us. 68-year-old man visiting internal medicine clinic with a complaint of a recurrent attack of chest pain and shortness of breath. Then, we provide further detail as regard vital signs, examination finding, past history together with drug and family history. The session starts by assembling small group students to discuss scenario. In the next few slides, I will explain the main characteristic of case-based learning. The topic to be discussed is known to students before they come to the session. They should come prepared depending on their previous knowledge. Students involved in such session usually come from clinical years. They are usually small in number, around 6 to 8 students. Sometimes higher numbers are accepted. Instructors for this session are likely clinicians from the same specialty. The student role are active. They are expected to ask questions and to explore the topic. As regard tutors, they also have an active role. They should direct learners to reach the intended objective of the session. Usually, time taken for such session is short, from 1 to 2 hours. Learning objective of the session is clearly stated in the session plan before the beginning. Finally, the process itself is considered the outcome. On the other hand, problem-based learning is based on a real problem. The initial topic is unknown for learners, therefore students join the session without preparation. Students involved usually come from basic science years, and they should be small in number, ideally up to 8 students. It's not mandatory for tutors to be clinicians of the same specialty. Teachers' roles are limited in such sessions. Time given for BBL can be long and can extend to several sessions. Learning objectives are identified during the session and can be modified. Finally, outcome can be measured against objectives. Cases used for CBL can be in different forms. It can depend on finished cases, unfinished open cases, fictional or based on original documents. The reason behind increasing use of case-based learning is that it utilizes the higher order of Bloom's taxonomy. Using CBL has many advantages. as it allows scientific inquiries, integration of knowledge and practice, encourage collaborative learning, and self and critical thinking. Finally, no method comes without disadvantages. This method benefits high achieving students. Dominant students might affect the rest of the group. Also, using this method requires the use of a huge number of instructors to cover the whole number of students. In summary, case-based learning is inquiry-based teaching that is suitable for clinical years. It is different than problem-based learning. Its use is recommended as it uses higher cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. Thank you all for listening.